everyone. Hi, Loremaster Sotek here. It's been a hot minute. Hope you're all doing well and staying safe and staying cool, especially. This summer has been a pretty big hot one, but I have been pretty busy, mostly with tabletop RPG stuff, as I'm sure you've seen on the channels and live streams and stuff. But I am finally kind of getting back to more Total War related things and some lore related projects. Finish some scripts that I'm really excited to record here in the coming days, and also have a lot of lore related things coming up. But first things first, we have this business. So Creative Assembly has been kind enough to put out a update for a dev update for Total War Warhammer 3 that includes various details relating to the upcoming patch, which is going to also be the DLC for Shadows of Change. So I have not read this yet. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. So this is Dev Update 1. So it says, today we've got a Swift developer update for you all, and where we take a strip back look at what we're working on for Total War Warhammer 3, so you're all kept in the loop as we approach Shadows of Change and beyond. We'll plan to drop a few of these posts, so keep an eye out for more of these in the future as just a selection of the improvements we're making. In between these updates, you can head over to our Discord, yada, yada, yada. So, Immortal Empire's achievements. Very excited for these. We've heard your cries for Immortal Empire's achievements, and we're excited to reveal that they're finally coming. We completely agree that they're a great way to track progress, as well as encouraging players to tackle different races that they may have otherwise overlooked. What are we doing? Every playable race in Total War Warhammer 1 and 2 and the Chaos Dwarfs are receiving 2 achievements, one for regular campaign and one for very hard or legendary. The achievements will pop once you've hit the record screen after achieving ultimate victory or domination. Whew, okay. So, long victory is no longer good enough. It has to be an ultimate victory or domination. We are currently testing these achievements on our end to make sure they work. And here we are. So we've got, what? It looks like we've got the Vampire Coast, Bretonnia, Wood Elves, Beastmen, Warriors of Chaos, Vampire Counts, Greenskins, Chaos Dwarfs, the Empire, High Elves, Dark Elves, Lizardmen, Skaven. Wait, who? Tomb Kings, Dwarfs. Uh-oh. Suddenly I'm like, wait, who am I missing? Vampire Counts, Vampire Coast. It's like, that looks like Vampire Coast, right? Because it's like naval themes. But this is also kind of... Who am I missing? What, Norska? I guess? This can't be Norska, though. Like, it's got like bat wings and a halberd. What the heck? It doesn't matter. Whatever. Because this looks like... I mean, I guess this could be Norska, but to me this feels more Warriors of Chaos. This doesn't feel Norska at all. I don't know who this is supposed to be. Well, High Elf, Dark Elf, Lizardman, Skaven, Tomb King, Vampire Coast. And then Empire, Dwarf, Vampire Counts, and Greenskins. Bretonnia. Yeah, I have no idea. Huh. I'm forgetting somebody. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Immortal Empire's tutorialization. Yeah, that's definitely... they start with missions. Okay, cool. That's good. Battle difficulty settings. They're working on making that a little bit more interesting, which should be cool. We're adding a slider to battle difficulty settings to control the bonuses that AI receive to specific stats, separate from the difficulty. This will be available in campaign and custom battles. This will allow you more control. Great, awesome, cool. You may notice, we know you love landmark building, so we've added a bunch. Well, I don't... Oh, these are sneak peeks. Okay, so interesting. These aren't all of them. We're adding several new landmarks, and we're fine-tuning effects based on playtesting. That's really cool. Oh, and that's it. Okay. So I'm gonna open this page because I bet I can. Oh, we're getting the Pillar of Bone. Thank you. The Pillar of Bone should have been in ages ago. The Pillar of Bone is like, it's such a massive icon on the map that it wasn't a thing, which is like, why bother putting it on the map? It has its own battle map. It's like the main focus of multiple quest battles, and it like, good grief. So I'm really happy to see the Pillar of Bone in. Hopefully that's available for everyone. So the Pillar of Bone is the magic fulcrum, or the arcane fulcrum, that you can find down the Badlands. As the title says, it's a giant pillar of bone, but it has constant like storms of magic going on around it. The rampaging oak, very cool. The Talon of Agony, the glacial caves, Agrimon's Menagerie. Okay, so Agrimon's Menagerie is going to be in the Southern Chaos Wastes. So Agrimon is a demon prince of Slaanesh that Archaon fought. He had a big battle against him, and that's where he got Dorger. The Steed of the Apocalypse was from Agrimon's Menagerie. The Monolith of the Bloody Hand, who is a like famous champion of chaos. I cannot remember if that is in Norska or if it's in the Chaos Waste. I want to say it's in Norska. I think it's Borkill the Bloody Handed, something like that. The Celestial Palace. So that should be, I presume that's going to be in the capital of Grand Cathay, which should be pretty hot. Oh, they're doing Hwaddle! I love Hwaddle! So Hwaddle the Reawakened is a Hwaddle, from a Lizardman lore perspective, Hwaddle is a really big deal. It is the first temple city in millennia that is being rebuilt. So not only is it so Hwaddle fell a really long time ago, and it had a different title after it fell, but it's now known as the Reawakened because the Slann interpreted something in the Great Plan, and among the sacred plaques that they believe told them the time had come to rebuild Hwaddle. So a bunch of Lizardmen moved back to Hwaddle, and it even has Slann mage priests have taken up residence there. So like, it's fully being rebuilt, which is, you know, a huge deal for the Lizardmen, because they don't often do that. You know, there's only been 5 active temple cities for thousands and thousands of years. And then with Hwaddle, that actually takes them back up to 6, though obviously it's being rebuilt. And then of course they're working on Kinquata up in Albion, which essentially means like New Hope. Something kind of cheesy like that, but it is the first genuinely new city in like since the old ones were around, which takes them up to 7. As far as like the Lustrian Lizardmen are concerned, obviously you've got the Lizardmen in the Southlands, but that's a different thing. We got the Palace of Scrolls for Cathay, very cool. The Ecstatic Hunt, which is a big Slaaneshi thing, so I'm pretty sure that's gonna be up in the realm of chaos, or not. Sorry, the Chaos Waste. The Bells of the Lazar. I don't remember what that is off the top of my head. The Hall of Rebirth. The Hall of Rebirth sounds very Tomb King-y to me. That sounds very heavy Tomb Kings, but that could be a different undead faction. Talon of Agony, I'm pretty sure is Dark Elves. The Rampaging Oak, that one I'm really curious about. Like Rampaging Oak, that I can't tell if that's, I mean, part of me feels like that's chaos. Part of me feels like, because like you can see it's people hanging from a tree. I'm sure if I sat down and like opened up, started cracking books and doing some Googling, I could find all these. Nevesky's Citadel, that should be in Castle Alexandria, I think. Big fat Citadel should make that a lot more powerful and interesting. And then the Arachnarok Lair, please let that be in the Black Pit. Please, 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 please let that be in the Black Pit. The fact that the Greenskins don't have any special buildings and the Black Pit has been driving me crazy. And then we have the Great Dragon Fleet Port, which would be a big Yin building. And hopefully that, I don't know I'm not 100% sure which exact port that's going to be in, because I can't remember the names of all the Cathayan port cities off the top of my head. But this is very exciting. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So 15 new unique structures. Very, very happy about that. Very excited about that. I hope that they continue to add lots more. I would genuinely love to see 15 new landmarks added with every major patch. I think that's a very reasonable ask and would be really good. Like there's still things in here that I'm not seeing that I would like to. For instance, I would really like to see a unique landmark building about like squigs for Mount Gunbad, where Skarsnik starts, because like the whole reason he left Carrick 8 Peaks was to go on a squig hunt to catch some kind of like rare legendary breed of squig. So I would love for them to do that. Maybe I'd especially love for Mount Gunbad to get a building that references Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning, because the big bad boss of the Mount Gunbad dungeon is literally a colossal squig on steroids. So having a reference to that, like the final boss of that dungeon is called Ard to Feed, which is just a giant squig that has like 3 mouths or something. It's a big old mutated squig. So that would be super cool. But yeah, there's like tons and tons of buildings I would like to see still added to the game. But this is excellent. This is very excellent. I'm quite pleased. So yeah, that's awesome. The only other thing, so I do want to briefly address a leak that came out because it is a little interesting, though it's not a huge surprise by any means. Like it's just not a very big surprise. So if you don't want any leaks, like you don't want to be spoiled on anything that's coming for Shadows of Change, or related to Shadows of Change, like you're like, no, I want to go in like completely blind. Totally respect that. Leave the video now. Go away. Leave. Be gone. You've done your job. Oh, actually, before you leave, actually, never mind. Yeah. So go on. Shoo. So if you're still around, last chance, last warning, spoilers, last warning, spoilers. There has been a very, very reliable leak that the legendary hero, though we don't know which hero slot he's taking. Actually, no, yeah, we do. Because so for Shadows of Change, where they put out the little article about it, they gave hints as to the free LC legendary hero that comes with Shadows of Change and Empire in Ruins. Sorry, Thrones of Decay, Empire in Ruins. Can you tell I've been thinking about Wolfrup a lot? Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. So anyway, so in Thrones of Decay, they give us a hint that it's some kind of dwarf engineer or like engineer character, and in Shadows of Change they tell us that it is a mortal melee Tzeentch fighter. So it is some kind of melee fighter that has been corrupted by Tzeentch, which to me says it's a warrior of chaos. Now there's only 2 realistic options for that at all, which are Egrin von Horseman, the legendary big badass, like the king of all cultists, and Eckled Hellbrass, who it is. There was basically so whenever they bring on voice actors for Total Warhammer 3, this has happened a couple times where people will be brought on as voice actors to play a particular part or a particular character, and then they end up adding it to like their like jobs that I've done, their portfolio, before whatever it is they voice acted in comes out, which really feels like shouldn't happen. Like I don't because this has happened multiple times for Total War Warhammer specifically. So it's like I really feel like CA needs to be a little bit more stringent about telling them you're not allowed to like claim roles that you've done for us until we publish it. Please, it's not that hard. But in any event, it sounds like it's Eckled Hellbrass, almost 100%, which makes a lot of sense because he's realistically the only character that works for it, in my opinion. Like, yeah, there are some other warriors who have fallen to Tzeentch that are big melee fighters, but not really. And none of them are like true legendary hero material except for Hellbrass. Eckled Hellbrass, like, he's not a wizard. He is a badass warrior that doesn't cast spells. So, like, as far as Tzeentch characters go, he's actually really unique in that aspect, in that he's just a fighter. So I don't think he would make for a very good lord because of that. So he makes for an excellent hero, and he has a whole bunch of very unique gimmicks. Like, he has, he literally radiates life energy. So he's presumably able to heal and also heal maybe people around him. So he could be like a decent support character. And then he's also supposed to be like an insanely powerful fighter. And the Windblade is like a really unique, big, greatsword that he has that literally allows him to like slice and like, you know, unleash blasts of wind that like slice people in half or blow people around all over the place. He hasn't been playable for a really long time. I'm really curious what he's going to look like. I suspect he's going to be very, very similar to his original tabletop model, because they did the same thing with Astrogoth Ironhand, where like I thought they were going to update his design, because when I looked at his old model, it's like, that's so goofy looking, how can they make that look good? And then they just did. You know, they took the old model and they like fixed the proportions a bit, and then really brought it to life in a way that's like, oh no, that's badass as hell, even though the original thing is like goofy. I imagine they're going to do the exact same thing for Echoed Hellbrass, where the old model maybe looks a little silly by today's standards, but I imagine with a little bit of tweaking on the proportions and stuff like that, it's going to look absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, very, very excited for that. It is, I really do think it was the only realistic option. Based on the hint they gave us. I think the hint they gave us was a little too much information. They really could have gotten away with just being like, it's a champion of Tzeentch. But the fact that they went as far as to be like, it's a fallen, like, great warrior, and it's like, okay, well, there's really not a lot of those, to be honest. Most Tzeentch characters are not big melee fighters. Most of them are hardcore wizards or, like, demons and stuff. And I think for me personally, I think in my heart, I was between Galroch and Echoed Hellbrass as being the options. You know, it's like, do they want to go with kind of more of a traditional, you know, warrior character, or do they really want to go big and make like a Coadil / Lord Croak size character with Galroch? But it seems that they've gone with Echoed Hellbrass, which I think is totally fine. That's great. It's awesome. Really look forward to seeing him. I'm really curious how he's going to perform and stuff. We should be getting like pretty good news on Shadows of Change any day now, because we are almost at the last week of July, and it's supposed to come out in summer. So we know for a fact it's not a July release. It's definitely an August release, because there's going to be at least 2 weeks of build-up. I'm personally kind of suspecting it's going to be 3 weeks of build-up. So if they're going to release it this summer, they need to kind of, you know, get onto it. Unless they're going to do something different than what they did with Champions of Chaos, which is totally fine. Because Champions of Chaos was a 4-week build-up, but every week was a different Chaos faction. Maybe with Shadows of Change, they're just going to kind of do what they did with the Old Lord packs, where it's going to be like, it's only 2 weeks, and it's like a big trailer that shows off everybody, and then they just do little breakdown stuff for 2 weeks, and then it's out. That would probably make more sense at this point, because they're kind of running out of time to do the 3-week release schedule. But anyway, let me know what y'all think. Is there anything y'all are particularly forward to, or are you excited to have achievements coming in? Can you figure out who the axes over the Batwings is? Because I'm apparently too stupid to figure that out. Who did I say was... Yeah, no, that's definitely Vampire Counts. That has to be Vampire Counts. Who is this? In any event, and if that's not the Vampire Counts, then if this is Vampire Coast, which it seems like it could be, then who the fuck is this? I don't know. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Lots of exciting stuff coming soon. This will be coming out early on Sunday morning. So as just a reminder, this morning, like just a few hours from now, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, 4 p.m. BST, me and Andy Law are going to be doing like a really hardcore lore stream on Malekith the Witch King. So if you're like, man, I miss the days when Sotek actually did lore content, then that's going to be the perfect stream to come in, because we're going to be really breaking all that shit down. And it should be a ton of fun. So in any event, thank you all for watching. I'll see you with more news coming soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.